Okay, I need to tell you what happened last week because there was no press release, no big announcement, no singular moment you could point to. It was quieter than that. It was the week that Microsoft made AI your default coworker. The week Meta announced it's cutting 8,000 people, and the same week it created a brand new job title called the AI Pod Lead. The week Klarna's single AI assistant did the work of 700 humans and customers rated it higher. And the week the tech industry quietly hit 95,000 layoffs for the year, and nearly half of them blamed directly on AI. This was 1 week, April 30th to May 4th. If you had a desk job or if you want to build something on the side of that desk job, this video is your briefing. And I promise by the end, you're going to feel more clear than anxious. Hi, I'm Shaka. I spent 21 years in the tech and management consulting industry, and I spent a lot of those years watching brilliant, capable, qualified people slowly hand over their evenings, their weekends, and eventually for some, their identity to a company that kept asking for more. I built AI Accelerate because I believe the same technology disrupting those jobs is also the key to designing a life outside of them. I cover what's happening in AI every week, not for developers, not for tech bros, not for VCs, for the small to medium-sized businesses and corporate professionals who are genuinely trying to figure it out. What does this mean for them? What do they do next? Today, we're doing a full weekly roundup, April 30th to May 4th. It was a big week. Here's what you need to know. Let's start with Microsoft because this is the one that affects you the most if you're working in an office. This week, Microsoft AI Copilot officially crossed 20 million paid seats. I don't think you heard me. 20 million paid seats. That is up from 15 million in January. And Microsoft Agent 365, the product that lets Copilot actually do things autonomously across your Microsoft environment, went live on May 1st. Not helps you draft anymore, does it for you, sends the email, updates the calendar, edits the live document in Word, reorganizes the spreadsheet in Excel, not suggestions, execution. Now, here's a number I keep coming back to, 20 million. That means 20 million people's employers are paying for this tool. And I know a meaningful percentage of them, a significant one, have not turned it on yet. Maybe IT hasn't pushed it out. Maybe Greg in accounting is waiting for the training that never got scheduled. If you have this tool and you are not using it, you're handing back one resource, the one resource your company actually paid to give you. The people who figured this out in the next 60 days look like wizards to everyone else. And if you're building a side business or have a business, teaching other people to use Copilot effectively in their industry with their specific workflows is one of the clearest consulting offers I could think of right now. 145 billion bet plus 8,000 layoffs. Okay, let me give you this week's Meta story in one sentence, and then we'll unpack it. Meta had its best quarter in company history, $56 billion in revenue, up 33% year on year. And in the same earnings call, announced it is cutting 8,000 employees and redirecting up to $145 billion into AI. We talked about this in the last episode. Record profits, massive AI spend, layoffs. Same sentence. This is the corporate AI story in its purest form. Now, here's the part that made me laugh and didn't at the same time. Meta created new job titles this week to replace the ones they eliminated. Are you ready? AI Builder, AI Pod Lead, AI Org Lead. I want you to sit with AI Pod Lead for a moment. We are now officially in the era of the AI Pod Lead. I don't know exactly what that means yet, but I know it didn't exist 6 months ago, and I know Meta is hiring for that AI Pod Lead right now. Here's why this matters beyond the joke. Meta just told you out loud where the income is moving. They didn't quietly restructure. They announced the new titles at the same time they announced the cuts. This is not an accident. This is a roadmap. The people who understands how to deploy and manage AI tools, even in a non-technical level, are the ones being hired. The ones waiting for the memo that says it's time to learn AI are the 8,000. I'm not saying this to scare you at all. I'm saying it because there is still time to be on the right side of the story. Let's run through the big three quickly because each one did something worth knowing this week. OpenAI. GPT 5.5 shipped early in the week and it's rolling out on Amazon Bedrock, meaning enterprises running on AWS now have a native path to frontier AI inside their existing cloud. Sam Altman described it as AI you can delegate to, which is a phrase that is either terrifying or exciting depending entirely on whether you ever had a good intern. Also, on the OpenAI front, the Elon Musk lawsuit is actually in trial right now in Oakland. Musk is suing for $150 billion, yes, with a B, alleging that OpenAI betrayed its nonprofit mission when it went for profit. 2 days before the trial started, he reportedly reached out to settle and allegedly said, and I'm quoting, "By the end of this week, you and Sam will be the most hated men in America." We don't know how this ends, but Satya Nadella from Microsoft is on the witness list. So at minimum, the courtroom drama is excellent. Anthropic. They launched Claude Opus 4.7 this week, their most capable model yet, with major gains in complex reasoning and long-running tasks. They also launched Claude Security, a tool that scans enterprise code bases for vulnerabilities. But the one I think is most useful for non-technical people, Claude now connects directly to Adobe, Blender, Ableton, and other creative tools, meaning Claude lives inside the creative software you already use. If you do any design, content creation, or production work in your business, your delivery time just got cut in half without adding a new subscription, and we're saving some money. And Harvard switched from ChatGPT EDU to Claude for its faculty in arts and sciences, effective June. That's not a tech story. That's a credibility signal that matters when you're selling AI services to corporate clients. Google. Deep Research Max launched, powered by Gemini 3.0 Pro. And it's a genuine enterprise-grade autonomous research agent now. We're talking NCP support, native chart generation, long horizon synthesis, the kind of market research that used to take an analyst 3 days. Deep Research Max does it in a session. And this is the quiet one that I think is underrated. Gemini's app now lets you turn prompts into downloadable Word documents, Excel files, PDFs, and Google Slides directly from the conversation. For anyone building client deliverables on the side, that's not a small thing. I want to take 60 seconds and be direct with you about the number that has been sitting in the back of my week. The tech industry has cut 95,878 jobs so far in 2026 across 249 layoff events, 864 people a day, and 48% of those cuts, nearly half, have been explicitly tied to AI and workflow automation. The roles taking the heaviest hits: customer support, content creation, quality assurance, project coordination. If you work in any one of those functions, I'm not here to tell you everything is fine. It's not going to be fine in the form it currently exists. But here's what I also know. Every single one of those displaced functions still needs to get done. Businesses need customer support. They need content. They still need QA. The work isn't gone. The full-time employee to do it is. What businesses need now is a consultant who knows which AI tool replaces the role and how to implement it. The consultant can charge project rates, not hourly rates. They can serve 5 clients at once, and they can do it in 20 hours a week. The do-it-all worker fights the tide. The life architect uses it. Let's be life architects. The 95,000 number is real. So is the opportunity on the other side of that. This is my favorite part of every week. Real companies using AI in ways that aren't just cutting headcount, ways that's actually human. MasterCard Agent Pay. MasterCard launched something this week called Agent Pay, and I need you to really hear what this is. It's a payment framework that lets your AI agent shop, compare prices, and complete a purchase on your behalf. While you're in a meeting, you set the rules. Remember, there's always rules. Spend under $200, reorder office supplies when you run low, always pick the vendor with the best delivery time. The AI monitors, decides, and pays. The receipt, it lands in your inbox. You don't touch it. MasterCard is calling this the financial infrastructure layer for the agentic economy, which is a very fancy way of saying your AI is about to have a company credit card. For businesses, This is not a future state. Building a business that operates autonomously while you're at your day job or running strategy in your business, handling orders, vendor payments, client onboarding. This is the system I've been describing. MasterCard just built the payment rails for it. Jumeirah Hotels. Okay. This one genuinely surprised me and kind of scared me because it's so personal. So this luxury hotel company is using AI to pre-personalize your room before you ever check it. The system has already learned your dining preferences, your room temperature, your music taste, your pillow type, and it preps the room before you land. Staff are briefed on the small details that matter to you specifically. Imagine walking into a hotel room you've never been to before, and the lighting is already warm. The playlist is what you actually listen to. And there's a welcome note that mentions your daughter's birthday because you put it in the booking note 4 months ago. And if you don't know where they got all that third-party data from, you can ask me about that later. Nice, a little scary, but nice. So since then, guest loyalty enrollment is up. Direct bookings are up. Premium room upsells are up, because people pay more to feel remembered. Here's your business takeaway. AI's superpower is memory at scale. The consultant whose AI remembers every client's industry, last conversation, follow-up promise, and kid's name feel like a 5-star concierge, not a freelancer with a calendar app. That's defensible. That's premium. That's the offer. Marriott food waste. And this one might be my favorite because it's completely unexpected but needed. Marriott's UK and Nordic division partnered with an AI company called WinNow to deploy smart cameras in hotel kitchens that photograph and weighs every piece of food that gets thrown away. The AI learns which dishes get wasted most, on which days, at which meal times. And it quietly rewrites the prep schedule. No spreadsheet, no guesswork. The London Wharf Marriott cut food waste by 67% in 6 months. 20,000 meals saved, 31 tons of CO2. Guests noticed nothing, but the chef said for the first time, management actually listened to them about waste because the AI spoke in dollars and data, not frustration. The consultant lesson, you don't have to build the AI. You have to know where to point it to. A consultant who walks into any small business and shows them a tool that saves them real money is worth more than their day rate. That's the offer. 3 companies I'm watching because knowing what's coming is how you position yourself before the crowd. Number 1, Cerebras System. We mentioned this last time and I'm still watching. They make AI chips specifically designed to run large models faster and cheaper than NVIDIA. They refiled for a US IPO this quarter. Target valuation, 15 to 23 billion. The practical reason I'm watching them. Cerebras powered APIs are some of the fastest and cheapest inference options on the market right now. So for a solopreneur or small consulting practice that runs on AI tools, cheaper inferences means lower cost to deliver. Worth a free trial to see if it fits your AI stack. Number 2, Databricks. If you don't know them, they're the company that help enterprises run AI on their own private data. Think of a hospital, a bank, a law firm. Anyone who can't send proprietary data to OpenAI. $5.4 billion in annual recurring revenue. 20,000 customers, including the NBA, AT&T, and Shell. IPO targeting the second half of 2026 at a $134 billion valuation. Databricks is a signal. The sectors investing in Databricks, healthcare, finance, legal are exactly where experienced professional building AI consulting practices need to be. Number 3, and I know this one sounds ridiculous, so stay with me. xAI, Elon Musk's AI company, has operationally merged with SpaceX and is targeting a joint IPO in June this year at a valuation of $1.75 trillion with a T. Trillion, not billion. That would be the largest IPO in history. I'm not telling you to do anything with that information financially because I'm not a financial advisor. But I'm telling you that the AI infrastructure story is so enormous right now that a company is attempting to go public at nearly $2 trillion. Understanding that context is how you walk into any meeting sounding like the most informed person in the room. Phew, we covered a lot today. Here's what I want you to carry out of this session. The companies winning this decade are not the ones using AI to cut the most people. They are the ones using AI to give people something back. A Klarna customer who gets their issue resolved at midnight. A doctor who finally makes eye contact with their patient. A hotel chef whose kitchen prep finally makes sense. A hotel room that makes you feel like royalty. The professionals who will win this decade are the ones who learn to do the same thing for their clients. Use AI to give something back. Time, peace, presence, capacity. That's not a tech story. That's a human story. And it is absolutely the business model worth building. And that's the one I'm building. If this was useful, if even one thing here landed differently than the headlines you're used to seeing everywhere else, hit subscribe. I drop every Tuesday, and the whole point is to make sure you are never the last person in the room to understand what's happening in AI. And if you want a real starting point, not theory, not hustle content, actual steps, the free 7-day AI Jumpstart is in the description. 7 days, 30 minutes each. It is the exact framework I would hand a friend who looked at me across the dinner table and said, Shaka, I'm ready. Where do I start? I'll see you next week. Okay, bye.